There is a certain kind of person who feels everything more deeply than most. A brief conversation can stay in their mind for days. One unusual look can trigger hours of reflection. While everyone else moves on, their mind keeps replaying the tone, the expression, and every detail hidden between the words. From the outside, they seem fine, but this is not simply overthinking or a habit they deliberately chose. For many highly sensitive people, it reflects how their nervous system processes emotional and sensory information. Today, we are exploring 10 psychological truths about people who feel everything deeply and why sensitivity can feel like both a burden and a gift. Truth 1. They scan what words cannot hide. Imagine meeting an old friend shortly after his breakup. He laughs loudly, tells jokes, and insists he feels free. Everyone believes him, but the deeply sensitive person notices something else. His smile disappears too quickly. His fingers keep tapping the table. His voice briefly tightens whenever someone mentions his ex. Tone, facial expression, posture, and context strongly shape how emotional messages are understood. Sensitive people notice when someone's words say, "I'm fine," while their body communicates something different. This awareness makes them supportive friends. They recognize pain before anyone asks for help, yet it can feel lonely because few people notice the anxiety behind their own smile. Truth 2. They absorb the emotions around them. Have you ever entered a room and immediately sensed tension, even before anyone spoke, or cried during a film, even though you knew the story was fictional? Psychologists call part of this process emotional contagion. Through empathy and attention, we can begin to mirror another person's emotional state. For sensitive people, this reaction may feel especially intense. Someone else's anger can tighten their chest. A stranger's grief online can follow them all afternoon. Their body seems to participate in the emotion. Surrounded by distressing headlines, they can become a sponge, carrying feelings that were never theirs. Truth 3. Their environment can overwhelm them. Sensitivity is not limited to emotion. Bright lights, loud music, strong perfume, crowded rooms, and repetitive sounds may all become exhausting. Most brains filter out unimportant information, but some people have a lower threshold for stimulation. In an office, they may notice a keyboard, someone chewing, the air conditioner, and traffic outside, all while following a conversation. Violent films or graphic news may also affect them strongly. Their logical mind knows the scene is not real, but their body still responds with tension or nausea. Avoiding it is not weakness. Their nervous system has reached its limit. Truth 4. Solitude is how they recover. After spending all day reading people, absorbing moods, and processing noise, their system needs to power down. They may come home, silence their phone, dim the lights, and sit alone. To others, this can appear distant or antisocial, but it is often simply recovery. Without time to reset, sensitive people may become irritable, unfocused, or emotionally empty. Their silence does not mean they are angry. Sometimes their emotional battery has reached zero, and solitude is how they return to themselves. Truth 5. Time pressure can shut down their best thinking. Sensitive people are often deep processors. They examine details, compare possibilities, revisit past experiences, and anticipate future consequences. This can lead to thoughtful decisions and exceptionally careful work. But depth takes time. Give them several competing tasks, constant interruptions, and a countdown clock, and their mind may freeze. Stress breaks their concentration and pushes the nervous system into survival mode. In the right conditions, they can produce extraordinary work. They shine with clear priorities, quiet space, and enough time to explore a problem. Their pace may be slower, but the result is often richer and more precise. Truth 6. The past remains emotionally alive. Many sensitive people have powerful emotional memories. They may forget what they ate yesterday, but remember the disappointment in a parent's face 15 years ago. A careless comment can remain vivid months after the person who said it has forgotten. This can lead to rumination, the habit of repeatedly returning to painful events. Because the memory was processed deeply, recalling it may recreate the original emotion. the chest tightens. The face grows warm. The old embarrassment feels strangely present. Remembering danger once helped humans survive. But today, that same system can turn inward, trapping us in questions such as, "Why did I say that?" Or, "What should I have done differently?" Truth 7. Conflict can make them freeze. People who feel deeply are often highly uncomfortable with arguments, not because they have no courage, but because conflict can register as a serious threat. When a partner raises their voice or a boss delivers harsh criticism, the amygdala may trigger a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Their heart races, their thoughts disappear, and every intelligent reply arrives hours too late. Some quickly apologize, even when they did nothing wrong, because restoring peace feels safer than defending themselves. They are not necessarily agreeing. Their nervous system is trying to end the danger. Unfortunately, this can teach others that pressure works, leaving the sensitive person carrying resentment they never expressed. Truth 8. Saying no can feel physically painful. Imagine finally resting after an exhausting week when a coworker asks you to cover another shift. You want to refuse, but you instantly picture their disappointment. Within seconds, you type, "Okay, I'll do it." Social rejection engages some of the same brain networks involved in physical pain. For an empathetic person, imagining someone else's disappointment can create immediate guilt. Saying yes then becomes a form of emotional pain relief. They lend money they need, offer time they do not have, and sacrifice boundaries to avoid feeling selfish. But every automatic yes quietly becomes a no to their own health. Learning to tolerate temporary guilt is often the first step toward protecting their energy. Truth 9. Beauty reaches them just as deeply. Sensitivity does not only magnify pain, it can also intensify pleasure, wonder, and meaning. A song may send chills across their skin. A painting may bring tears they cannot explain. Sunlight moving through trees, the scent of rain, or one gentle touch can create an almost overwhelming sense of peace. The same nervous system that reacts strongly to harsh surroundings may flourish in supportive ones. Many sensitive people are drawn to music, writing, and design. Art gives them language for experiences ordinary words cannot hold. Truth 10. They are more like orchids than dandelions. Researchers use the orchid and dandelion metaphor to describe sensitivity. Dandelions grow under many conditions. Orchids are more affected by their environment. In harsh conditions, they struggle. In nurturing ones, they may flourish dramatically. Highly sensitive people can be especially vulnerable to chronic criticism, chaos, and emotional neglect. But when they are understood, respected, and given space to use their strengths, they may become exceptionally creative, compassionate, perceptive, and thoughtful. Sensitivity is not automatically a disorder or a defect. It is a trait with costs and advantages. Human groups have always needed bold people who act quickly, but they have also needed careful observers who detect subtle danger, emotional tension, and changes others overlook. If you feel everything deeply, the goal is not to force yourself to become less sensitive. It is to learn how to manage what enters your system. Set boundaries before exhaustion makes the decision for you. Treat your energy like a limited account, not a resource everyone can withdraw from. Accept your need for solitude without interpreting it as failure, and deliberately seek beauty, art, nature, and safe relationships to balance the stress you absorb. Living deeply can feel unbearable when you do not understand it. But once you learn to guide it, sensitivity becomes a remarkable way of experiencing life. You may notice the hidden rocks beneath the water, but you also see colors and light that other people pass without noticing. You are not too much. You are not broken. Your nervous system is simply tuned to a level of detail that the world does not always accommodate. Which of these 10 truths felt most familiar to you? Share your experience in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden patterns behind human behavior, subscribe to Mind Decoded. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next journey into the mind.